Elvine Mänd may not be known by a lot of people, but her legacy and name is embroidered on the behinds and across the hearts of many. Elvine worked as a seamstress in Estonia during the Second World War. Taking pride in her work, she produced clothes with great discipline, painstakingly ensuring quality in a strictly practical culture. When the Russians invaded, Elvine made a run for Estonia's neutral neighbour, Sweden. Having lived through 2 world wars, Elvine persistently continued her craft in Sweden in order to provide for her 4 little girls. In 1975, Elvine's youngest daughter gave birth to a boy named Daniel Mänd, who, in his own time, would revive Elvine in a whole new way. Daniel grew up in Kohler, on the outskirts of Gothenburg, and quickly became one with the streets. Graffiti became a way out for Daniel, who found the same thrill in tagging and bragging as the people around him did in fighting and stealing. Graffiti culture was just as real, only nicer. As time passed, Daniel learned he could make money from his passion. Graffiti was moving into the galleries, with people wanting prints on walls and T-shirts instead of pieces on trains and trams. With the opening of his own streetwear store, Daniel realised what it was he and his friends weren't able to find in the clothing industry. The idea of bridging gaps came to mind. He wanted to create something that came entirely from him and Gothenburg's unrefined street culture, but made in the tradition of his grandmother. Wanting to reach people from the street, Daniel found inspiration in his everyday life, and more importantly, in his friends. It was all about having a good time and bringing his community closer together, creating clothes he and his buddies could actually wear themselves, clothes they couldn't find elsewhere. Daniel spent most of his nights on the sewing machine, stitching on tags and retailoring clothes he got back from the factory. And somehow, the founder had become the very essence of his own brand. The unsophisticated boy became obsessed with quality and sophisticated craftsmanship. Daniel's life on the streets merged with his grandmother's functional legacy to create a new kind of Elvine: sophisticated clothes for unsophisticated behaviour.